everyone, welcome to my Flosstube channel, Thread the Needle. My name is Vani. It is now the new year. We have been in the year 2024 for approximately 3 weeks, and I'm happy to say that I have so far followed along with my 2024 stitching plans. For those of you who don't know me or are new to my channel, I am a lover of full coverage cross stitch. And as you can see, that is my passion. For those of you who are back again, thanks so much for joining me. We're going to dive right in. So at the end of last year, I gave an extensive view of what my stitching plan was going to be for the new year. There were a lot of plans. I had a focus piece, a piece that I'm going to be working on every day because I have a goal to finish it by a certain point. I have a particular project that I'm working on every Friday, another one for every Saturday, another one for every Sunday. Then I have another project that I'm working on every 1st to the 5th of every month. I also have a piece that I'm working on every 15th of the month. And I have a Christmas piece that I'm working on every 24th and 25th of the month. And then the rest of my pieces go into a rotation, and there are many of them. Before I start sharing my works in progress, I want to share a little bit about how I like to kind of keep track of everything that I am doing. I have a little notebook. Usually I would, now this is what I used to do last year. I have a little notebook. I would just, when I would start stitching on a piece that came out in my rotation, I would write the name down, and then however many days I stitched on it, I would write the total number of stitches I did that day, and then when it was time to give you an update, I'd know how many stitches I stitched. At the same time, I was using the app that many people use called StitchPal to keep track of my progress. And so basically you can enter in your project, how many stitches you have left on it. You can put an end date on it, so it'll tell you how many stitches you have to do in order to reach that goal. And so that was good. And then I was also, what else was I doing to keep track of it? I was doing it on my app. I was doing it in a notebook. And I was just feeling like it was just starting to be too complicated. I just wanted everything in one spot. I mean, ideally it'd be nice if Pattern Keeper did all that, but Pattern Keeper, while absolutely lovely and I love it to pieces, it is just a application to view and stitch your PDF with. It does wonders for stitching full coverage because it tracks where all the stitches are that you need. But this isn't a video about Pattern Keeper. We're going to move on. Now, I don't know, you should know of a floss tuber out there called Teresa Little Stitcher. I have been following her for quite a number of years now, since before I started my Flossmas videos. And I just think she's, first of all, I love her accent. I could listen to her talk all the time. Secondly, she is an amazing stitcher. She stitches everything from full coverage to non-full coverage, all of it. And she's just so talented, so experienced. She does the Flosstube videos. She does stitch with me. She does live stitching sessions where you can ask her questions or what have you. And she also has a blog. And the last couple of years, she had put out a cross stitch template where you can track how many days you stitch. And I understand this year's the first year that she's created a Excel spreadsheet for people who want to track how many stitches you do in the run of a day. That's me. And I cannot tell you how exciting that was. I thought, oh, I don't know if it's going to work, if I'm going to be interested. And so I thought, okay, I'll just give it a try. It's called, and you can get it, you can download it, and she, out of the goodness of her heart, has done this, everyone. She's not charging anything for it. By the way, I think you should, because it's fantastic. Anyways, so if you go on our website, there's a link where you can download the Excel. Now, I don't use Excel a lot. I use Google for everything. So when I downloaded it, I opened it up in Google Sheets, and it works perfectly like that as well. It's 2024 project tracker to count stitches. She has her regular one that she uses to count the number of days you stitch. Me, I much prefer to keep track of the number of stitches. Okay, so here it is. Basically, now she has entered in all the formulas and everything. Like, I don't know how she did it. So first off, in the bottom, if anybody knows anything about Google Sheets or Excel, you can have multiple tabs at the bottom. So she has created January, February, March, all the months of the year. Then she's got a tab where you can list all your WIPs. We're going to get to that in a moment. She also has year in view. Now, I haven't really played around with that, so I don't know how that works yet. I think it has to do with connecting with whatever projects you're doing. I have to look at that. I haven't done that yet. Then she has another tab, WIPGO 2024 plans. Now, I myself have not ever participated in WIPGO, but I know many people out there do. And so she offers a way for you to kind of consolidate all your thoughts and views and keep track of everything that you're doing here. I'll let someone else explain about WIPGO because I don't participate and I don't know all the details. I'm just going to go back to the stitch count tracking part of it. Okay, so let's go back to the tab for WIPs. She has created a place for you to list all of your WIPs, because we all know I have multiple on the go. Then you can put a start date, a finish date, FFO'd, fabric used, the colorway, who it's by, the threads used, and any other extra information you want to do. I have very simply just listed all my WIPs. And why have I done that? Because if you go back to the initial month of January, on this side right here, so at the top, I'm going to explain everything that I did. I'm going to come a little bit closer, excuse me. Okay, as I move my chair closer, okay? So, here she's got, we have listed at the top, she's got, obviously 2024 project tracker to count your stitches. Then, right here, down this column here, let me see if I can make that a bit bigger. Okay, right here, for this is the project name column. Remember the tab where we went, oh no, I don't want to write anything, hang on. Touch sensitive, aren't we? Okay, so remember the tab where we listed all our WIPs. That, in turn, made this into a drop-down menu. So, let's for example take my anniversary piece that I want to stitch on it every day. Okay, so I was able to, in the drop down menu, select whichever project I wanted to use. Sorry, the glare is going to bug you, I know. I was able to select every project that I want, whatever one I wanted to use from the original WIPs tab. And it comes up here and I can select whichever one I want. Now, since I've already selected it, I'm just going to go back there. So once it's selected, then across the top here, she's listed, well, 1 to 31, because obviously there's 31 days in the month of January. Then what I did was, because the plan that I had for my stitching was, I had a particular project I wanted to do on Fridays, a different one for Saturdays, a different one for Sundays. So I wanted to also be at a glance, be able to tell what day of the week that date of the month is, because I'm very visual. So the January 1st was a Monday. So right on top of the numbers, I have listed the days of the week. Then what we did was I added a little extra, because I know from the 1st to the 5th of the month, which is the pink area that you see there, I know that I want to stitch on the Heaven and Earth design Rainbow Dragon, because that's my Heaven and Earth design sal that I am participating in, and I want to stitch on it on every 1st and 5th of the month. Then you'll notice on there's this bluey green color. It comes on the 15th of the month. That's because I want to stitch on ottoman tiles. Then this dark blue color here represents every Friday of the month. And that is because I want to stitch on the coloring book, what is it called? Coloring book afternoon, which I'm participating for the leap year sale, which doesn't technically start until February 29th. So I haven't started it yet, but that's dark blue. Then the red represents every Saturday in the month. And on every Saturday, like today, I'm going to be stitching on the Quaker sal, the Canadian flag. Then this purple represents birds and blooms, which I wanted to stitch on every Sunday of the month. Which, it's just, I love it, okay? This makes my organizing heart just so happy. I just love it. Now, I took it one step further. I loved what Teresa has done here. She did all the groundwork. I just took it one step further. And so she already had a column to total the number of stitches that you do. So every day that you stitch, you put in the number and then it tallies it over here. I took it one step further and I added a column. And I figured out how to put the formulas in so that the app does, or the Google Sheet does the work for me. Okay. So this is the total number of stitches that I've stitched. Then I added a column for the current total number of stitches stitched on the project. Then this is the project total. Then this is the percentage completed. See, this is why I had multiple projects. I'm gonna move my chair back again so I'm not like right up in your face. So this is why I had multiple different places keeping track of my things, like the app and then my notebook. This does it all for me. It keeps track of how many stitches I've stitched, and if I wanted, I know exactly on what days of the month that I stitched, what days I took a break, how many stitches I did per day. And I'll show you, like on average, I did pretty decent. And then of course there's days like on the weekend where I didn't have anything planned that I'd get more time to stitch. So for example, on some days I stitched 1,000 stitches, and that was clearly a weekend day. Then some days it looks like I'm averaging anywhere from, most of them are 300 odd stitches. And then there's a couple with 500 stitches. I'm guessing that's also a weekend stitch. And then there's a couple of days that I didn't stitch at all. And that is okay. Whatever makes you happy. There should be no pressure when it comes to stitching. Okay. So now it gives you the days that I stitched, all these blocks right here. I calculate how many stitches. So this is the day. So for the first day of January, in that column right there, there's 2 blocks. I stitched on my anniversary piece and Mini Moose Crossing because I know I'm supposed to stitch on the Heaven and Earth piece, the Rainbow Dragons, but I didn't have the material yet. But I got it ready for the 2nd of January. Then on the 2nd of January, can you see? It'll see I stitched on 1, 2, 3 pieces. So not only does it calculate the total for each project over on this side, and then I have the percentage calculated, it also gives me a total at the bottom of, for that day of the month, how many stitches I put in. Then of course your total stitched all together. So I know I must sound crazy to some of you because this stuff makes me so excited, but like, it's just, I love that it's all organized in one spot. So Teresa, thank you so much for doing this. And I hope you don't mind. I tweaked it a little bit to give a few more details that I wanted to keep track of. Now let's get into the stitching part of it. I'm going to keep this handy so I can know exactly how many stitches I stitched and share that with you. So first up, we've got the anniversary piece. I managed to stitch on, I haven't stitched, I did a little bit of stitching today, but I think I'm going to get a little bit more done, so I haven't calculated that. So there was a couple of days that I didn't stitch on it, but so far I stitched 2,898 stitches, and here is what we've got done so far. So I completed my face. I think there was a lot of stuff going on here, so I was able to complete that down in that corner, and I've now moved on to right here. So I think it'll go a little bit smoother as we get in because it's like the same color scheme and a lot of colors, and there was a lot of stuff here that was very confetti stitching. So I'm going to show you a close-up of the area that I am currently stitching right now. So here's a close-up of my face. All right. Yeah. So there's no before because I don't really kind of keep pictures around of this because I don't want my husband to see it. And then right here is where I am currently stitching. This area right here. I'm really excited that I've been able to keep on top of it somewhat so far, and I'm hoping to continue on that path. So like I said, that was since the beginning of the year has been 2,898 stitches. Next up is Rainbow Dragons. I'm going to get my notebook out to make sure I don't miss any notes. So Rainbow Dragons, I am supposed to stitch on it every 1st to the 5th of the month. I don't know if I'll reach the goal to finish 4 pages in order to get any of the extra charts, or if I'll finish the whole thing by the end of the year. Like I said, a lot of these times when I participate in sales, it's just to really enjoy the journey. And that's what I'm here for. So here it is, Rainbow Dragons. There's no before picture because this is all, it's a new start. A lot of them are going to be new starts. Can you see? How's that? There you go. It's really, really fun. The colors are just so much fun. And this is the tip of the horn of the dragon, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And this is the fabric that I got from Kaylee Tent Stitch. She's on Instagram, and the sewing shop is her store. I always get some really lovely fabric from her. Okay, and on this one this month, I stitched 460. Nope, that's wrong. I was gonna say that looked like a lot more than 400 stitches. 1,025 stitches. So not bad. So that won't come out again until February 1st. Next up, we have Birds and Blooms. This is a Mother's Day new start from last year, and I decided I wanted to stitch on it every Sunday. And so far this month, there were 2 Sundays, and I have stitched a total of 826 stitches. I'm very much enjoying this one. Because it's very long that way and not so much in the height, I'm going to completely stitch downwards and then the next column that way, rather than going across that way. That's my plan anyway. So it looks pretty good, doesn't it? I'm really liking that one. So colorful and so much detail in there. Next up is the Quaker Canadians flag sal. I picked the Canadian flag. I've got 591 stitches put in there. And that gave me exactly 1 square. It was a fun stitch. I think I'm going to enjoy this one a lot. I'm really liking it. So I'm due to stitch on it again today. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. So that was all my selected special pieces that I want to stitch on every month. And then we came to the rotation pieces. I started with Mini Moose Crossing, and I completed 461 stitches, and that got us to here. So we're making some progress, slow but surely, making some progress, and I'm really enjoying it still. It's a fun piece to stitch on. It's one of those pieces that you really don't know what you're stitching on until you kind of step away and look at it. And then the next rotation piece that came around was Mini Dragon Charmer. And I'm so happy to say that we have a page finish. Check it out. Finally, I feel like I've been working on this one page forever, but makes sense because it's a Joe Wall piece and they're always very, very detailed. So now I have to figure out if I want to go down for the next page or if I want to continue working that way. But not until it comes in rotation again. On this one, I finished, to get that page finished, I had to put in 501 stitches. And then now I'm working on the next piece in the rotation, which I will show next time because I'm not finished working on it. So that is a little update on all my whips that I've done so far in the last 3 weeks. So far this year I have stitched 8,141 stitches. Not bad. I'm happy with the progress that I'm making, and I will continue to stitch, and I will continue to, I will try my best to stick to my plan. I really hope that I do, because I think it's going to work out. I really hope it does. It's been so much fun. I just love the stitching. It's a lot of fun. So just as a quick glance, I just put up 3 of my works in progress. These are some of my biggest ones. This is World Travel Bookshelf by Amy Stewart, and it's being stitched on 25 count 1/1. This is Golden Promises. It's being stitched on 18 count. And this is Ganesh. It's being stitched on 22 count. Oh, well, look at that. They're all Heaven and Earth designs. They're all being stitched on a different count fabric. That's pretty cool. So thank you so much for joining me here today. I had a blast, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye, everyone.